every year and for every quarter within each year, I look at the predominant energy and the personality and the themes of the energy that are going to be coming towards us in the next period of time. So I looked at the energy for 2020 and I looked at how that was going to play out. And it was very clear that 2020 was a game of two halves, if you like, that the first half of the year was very much about this time of going within, and then the second half of the year was very much about a time of coming out and expressing what had gone on within. June has been that point at which we are making that transition and that pivot from that inner to that outer world. So this is the time at which we have shifted into an outward expression of what we've been feeling within. And we've already started to see that. That is a theme that is most definitely going to continue. The bubbling up, the expression, the straws that break the camel's back, the things that prompt people into expressing what they've been feeling inside, we've already started to see that. And there's no question that, you know, consciousness is shifting and the world is changing. What we want from the world is changing. What we expect, you know, what the standards that we have, those are shifting. We're not tolerating some of the things that we have tolerated before, and now we're finding our voices. So as a collective, there's going to be a lot of disruption that is around us. But that isn't the predominant theme. The predominant theme is really your opportunity to find your anchor, to find your light, to find your roots, your foundation, however you want to visualize it. The visual that I had was absolute crystal clear. It is lights that in a storm, that who are strong despite the lashing of the storm that is going on all around. And I suspect that, you know, our world will feel very unstable over the next few weeks. But it's your role here to find your stability and to be the calm in the storm, to be that presence and to be that strength. So in some respects, it's very simple and it's very easy to say, but it's less easy to do. But this is what we are needing from you in this coming quarter, is that strength, that wisdom, that serenity, that just almost silence, peace and strength. To be true to you, to be true to what you're here to do, to be very consistent and very clear in that energy, so that you are holding that and therefore holding the space for a different way of doing things, a different way of being, a different way of thinking to actually come into being. So it is going to be absolutely down to us as a collaborative to find our roots, to find our anchor, and to find our place, and to be that energy. Because in being that energy, we are holding the infrastructure in place. Every person who does that is creating the infrastructure for a new way to come into being, the new consciousness to actually take hold and begin to take shape. And what we're doing over the next 3 months is actually preparing the ground for the new. We're preparing the way, because there has to be a point of transition. This is the point of transition. And that if you've been doing the work on finding that core, then your role here is to be in that energy, to hold that energy in order to create the possibility and the hope and the optimism for others. So it's quite simple to say, less easy to do, but it's a moment of total trust in yourself and a total trust in your ability to be you and to not be swayed, and to understand the level of power that you have, because this is the point at which you realize how much power you have, and that all of those things that are deep within our psyche, whether that's within storytelling or sci-fi or stuff like that, that level of power that you can instinctively understand. You know, if you think of wizards in films and stuff like that, that level of power that is something that you have access to. It may not look exactly the same as it does when you actually have it, you know, in stories and stuff like that, but as a metaphor, you have that power. And it's about, this period of time is about finding that power. The other thing that is important about this period of time is the speed at which it's going to go. And the initial transition is going to be fast. And that is why it's so important to have such strong foundations, because otherwise I think a lot of people will feel very, very giddy, because it's going to be so fast. It's a slingshot, sort of like, if you can imagine, the immediate movement is very, very fast. The coming back is going to be a little bit smoother and a little bit slower, but the outward is going to be really, really fast. So I think the key themes are, you know, finding your roots, finding your foundations, collaboration. This is, you know, recognizing that you have a part to play, which is, it's an indication of the importance of the message. Collaboration. This is collective effort. So you finding your foundations, you finding your purpose, you being your purpose, you beaming that light out into the world. That's part of your work as part of the collective. And clearly, that's a very important message to get across. Sorry, my nose always itches when there's a message that needs to come forward really strongly. So the collaborative nature of it, the importance of you holding the space for what is to come, and finding that serenity is the word I want to use, that serenity in being yourself. This is going to be an interesting time, and I think it is going to pave the way for some very interesting momentum in the latter part of the year. So this is the transition point between the old and the new. We are moving into the new consciousness, and we are going to make that consciousness a reality. That's what's coming towards the end of the year. So this is the transition point, and this is your role in making that transition happen for the whole world.